It has been 19 years since the heinous attacks on September 11, 2001, where nearly 3,000 people lost their lives, 340 firefighters, more than 70 police officers in 3 different cities. And as we always do on September 11th, and hopefully we do across the calendar year, we do remember. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy. I'll be joined in just a little bit by Ben Davis and Greg Murphy. As Harry Callis said, 6 days after the attacks on September 11th, we are here in the cradle of liberty, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where we're calling today's game while the Phillies are down in South Florida getting set to take on the Miami Marlins. Usually, ballparks are filled to the brim. At least this one usually is, as we honor those who had the most tremendous of sacrifices on that day, and we honor their memories as well. And then we play baseball, just as we will do today with Game 2 between the Phils and the Miami Marlins. So let's talk about some of the things that have already happened today when it comes to the Phillies. We've got roster moves. In fact, Joe Girardi has made a handful of adjustments to his roster. Ronald Torreyes had his contract selected from Lehigh Valley. Adam Morgan's been reinstated onto the injured list. And then Ramon Rosso has been added as the 29th man for the doubleheader. There's a good chance he starts Game 2 today of this doubleheader. Neil Walker, meanwhile, has been designated for assignment. And we welcome in Ben Davis. And Ben, the topic of conversation here in Philadelphia, and I'm sure still down in Miami, is about the Phillies bullpen and the struggles that they've had this entire season.
Yeah, I think struggles is an understatement, Tom. You look at the numbers, they are just, they're horrible, and it just doesn't seem to be getting any better for the Phillies. Look at this. Most blown saves with 9. Last in ERA, a 7.35 ERA. That is just, it's unconscionable that it's that high. Most home runs allowed. The highest batting average at 330 and the fewest innings pitched at 127 and a third. The starting pitchers have done their job for the most part. It's just this bullpen that continues to implode for the Philadelphia Phillies. And we were able to catch up with the Philadelphia Phillies catcher, JT Realmuto, to talk about that bullpen.
I think we just got to do a better job attacking guys. I think the stuff is there. We're just getting into bad counts, walking leadoff guys with a 3-run lead. Can't do that stuff like that and be successful late in the game. So we just have to get back on the attack, be able to mix our pitches, throw them all for strikes, get ahead of guys is the main thing. We're just following the bad counts, and guys are getting good swings off.
JT also said that maybe he has to call some better pitches as well. It wasn't only on the relievers, he said. It was also on him. All right, so it'll be Aaron Nola today for the Phils in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Trevor Rogers, the left-hander, on the hill for the Miami Marlins. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about not only last night's win, that's Jorge Alfaro, who's not in the lineup in Game number 1, but also just the issues overall with the Phillies and the Marlins, particularly down in South Florida. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phils. You're made ready, and so are we. By Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. By Toyota, dear driver, hurry in and save. Toyota. And by Independence Blue Cross, live fearless. Learn more today, and a stopper that can go 7 innings as Aaron Nola warms up for today's start in Game 1 of this doubleheader. All right, so we take a look at our HERS schedule, our HERS look ahead, and these are the doubleheaders the Phillies have. They have the doubleheader today, then a single game tomorrow, then a doubleheader on Sunday against these Marlins. They still have 2 more after that against the Blue Jays and the Washington Nationals. And Ben, as we've talked about over the last couple of years, really, the Phillies have not had a whole lot of success, particularly down in South Florida against these Marlins, who are normally the last-place team.
And that's why you can never play the game of baseball on a piece of paper, Tom, because you just never know what's going to happen. Yes, the Phillies have swung the bats very well in Miami, but they just haven't thrown the ball very well. The starters' ERA, 4.88. This is since the start of the 2018 season. Bullpen ERA, 5.16. I don't care how many runs you put up. That's just not going to cut it from a pitching standpoint, and that's the reason they're 7-12 since 2018.
And that included last night. The Phillies have now allowed 23 earned runs in their last 6 games out of the bullpen. Rogers getting himself ready. Lineups at first pitch when we come back. It's connected. It's protected. Well, the roof is closed. Not a surprise down in South Florida. Roof's always closed down in South Florida. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Andrew McCutcheon leads it off in left field, then Rhys Hoskins. Bryce Harper hits third. JT hits fourth. Segura, Didi, and Phil Gosselin is the DH today. Alec Boehm over at third base, and Adam Hazley getting the start against the lefty, Trevor Rogers, which is significant, lefty on lefty. Rogers 1-0 with an ERA of 3.00.
Really good numbers for this rookie. A lot of strikeouts.
Marlins feel like he's got a chance to be really good. It's part of the reason why they felt like they could trade Caleb Smith. Smith was traded to the Diamondbacks in the Starling Marte deal. The first pitch of the day is in there for a strike. We're underway. And the count is 0-1. Kutchin hitting .243 with 5 home runs, 24 runs batted in. 1 for 5 last night, and he lines one into left field, a base hit. He's going to have an extra base hit right out of the gate.
There goes a no-hitter. That's a good start for the Fighting Phils.
Wouldn't count anyway, Ben. It's only a 7-inning game.
What a quick bat there by Andrew. Not too many fastballs he cannot catch up to. Pitch there at 95, and he just shoots it down the left field line. What a quick bat.
So runner at second base, and here's Reese. Reese was 1 for 5 last night with a single. Phillies are trying to score first, which they've done quite often. And they've scored a ton of runs in the first inning of games. The only problem is they haven't won as much as they should when they've gotten a lead. They're 16-13 when they score first. They need to be better than
yes. Definitely have gotten out to some big leads early in ball games. Just not able to hold on.
Reese takes strike one, 1-1. 9 home runs in his last 22 games. He has 17 ribbies during that time. One ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Looked like he slipped as he swung at that pitch.
It was a big hack, that's for sure. Look at his back foot here. His front foot.
Swing and a miss. He threw him something soft, so 1 out here in the first inning. He's not happy with that at bat, and it brings Bryce Harper up.
So Bryce Harper last night, when it's going bad for you, this is what happens. You get good pitches to hit. That's a pitch we've seen Bryce destroy. That's another pitch we've seen him destroy. This ball eventually grounds out to first base. 3 pitches between 88 and 90 miles an hour that he normally just absolutely hits the second deck, and he misses them. And that's when you're going bad, that's what happens.
He's a .254 with 7 home runs and 21 runs batted in. He was 0 for 3 last night. He did walk a couple times. Still a runner at second base and 1 man down. And Rogers turns back to chase back Andrew McCutchen. Beautiful set of cleats for Bryce Harper. He's always got the right attire to honor 9/11. That one's way out of the strike zone, but swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Bryce has done well against lefties this year. He's hitting .316 against them.
I just think with lefties, he's just able to stay in there a little bit more. He stays on pitches. Definitely uses the left side of the diamond more.
Oh, 1 pitch coming. The dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chad Wallach doing the catching in game 1. Alfaro, Don Mattingly said we'll play game 2. Part of the thought process is that Don Mattingly doesn't know exactly who's going to start game 2, kind of like Joe Girardi. Daniel Castano is the most likely candidate for the Marlins. But that's only if everything goes well in game one. It's the same thought for the Phillies. Joe can go with Rosso, Ranger Suarez. Can even go with somebody like Blake Parker.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
That bullpen definitely is stocked out there.
Stocked, but the back end is a little tired.
Yeah.
Way outside, 2 and 2. As Ben mentioned, Rogers is 6'6". He's listed at 185 pounds. That was probably his draft weight because he's bigger than that. A former first-round pick by the Marlins in 2017 out of high school.
Definitely has filled out.
Yeah, he won't be 23 until November of this year. And a called strike 3. Harper down looking, 2 outs.
Rogers went with a slide step there, just caught Harper off guard. The perfect pitch. Talk about Rogers' ability to punch your ticket. His last start against the Rays, 6 innings pitched, he had 10 strikeouts. He had 21 Ks overall in just 15 innings. And that is some paint.
It's kind of what moved him through the system so quickly. So now with 2 outs, it'll bring JT up. JT at 266 with 11 home runs.
Couple good swings last night. See if he can continue that tonight.
Yeah, finished 2 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. Got his foot down, but the breaking ball is on the outside corner. 0-1. Our giant home run replay. This was a beauty swing.
0-2 hanging slider here from Alcantara. 403 feet later, it lands. Your home run replay brought to you by Giant.
No balls, 1 strike to Real Muto. 0-2. So Ben, the best pitcher that you saw in high school, how many wins do you think he had?
Best pitcher I saw in high school. That would be Mike Koplov.
Okay. How many wins do you think he had his senior year?
I don't know. We only played 20 games, I think. Mike probably had, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 maybe.
Yeah, Rogers had 11 his senior year.
Wow.
He had 11 wins, and that's a balk. And they'll send McCutcheon over to third. Here comes the replay. You'll see the. He looked confused. Let's just say that. Right? It was right there, wasn't it? You saw the shoulder kind of twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Swing and a miss. Doesn't matter. He strikes out the side. Phillies lead 1 over third. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. Bottom of the first. The Marlins lineup brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. It's pretty much the same lineup as last night with the exception of Chad Wallach, and that means that Starling Marte is in and hitting second. See his career numbers against the Phillies. We'll talk more about that during this game because they're staggeringly good, not only overall, but there's a couple of years that really stand out. And they'll face Phillies right-hander Aaron Nola. Nola 4-3, 2.74 earned run average. He's coming off a really tough start against the Mets where he had no command of his fastball and quite honestly didn't have command of his curveball either.
You know, and the defense let him down as well. 3-pitch pitcher, you got to have at least 2 working, and he didn't have 2 of them working that night. Look for him to bounce back tonight. I'm not saying he's got to throw a complete game, Tom, but he's got to go 7.
Whichever way you're going to say it, Ben. I think Joe Girardi would be along those same lines if you asked him. Aaron against the Marlins, 3-7 for his career. Pretty good ERA, 3.49, higher than what he's normally used to. But not much. I mean, not much higher than his career. But it seems to be the one team within the division that he struggles against.
Mm-hmm.
1 ball and no strikes. Dickerson last night 2 for 4 with 3 runs. And it's 1-1. Corey, who played last year in the second half with the Phillies, was banged up for some of that stay, but still hit .293 with 8 home runs for the Phillies. 1-2. That four-seam fastball was at 91 miles an hour that last one he threw. The 1-2 pitch. Threw him a changeup, 2-2.
Yeah, the changeup, it's about 30% of the time he's throwing that. The curveball down to 23%. Hard to believe. But it has been so effective for him.
Swing and a miss. He does go back to the changeup. Time to take a look at our Citizens Bank stats leaders. Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phils. You're made ready, and so are we. All right, so against the National League East, he has a career ERA of 3.36, 28 wins, 21 losses. And they need him to get win number 29 here this afternoon.
Yes, indeed. You wouldn't think the Marlins would be the one to give him the most fits. You'd think maybe it'd be the Braves or the Mets. He's handled those teams pretty darn good.
Was one outing last year against the Marlins, 8 strikeouts over 7. And then he delivers to Marte on the outer edge. Marte last night 3 for 5 with a couple of doubles. That's a good sign that that pitch is coming back the way it is. 0-2.
Get ahead, stay ahead. And I don't care if it's 92 or 95. That's keep putting it right there. You're going to have a lot of success.
Check swing on the curve. They do appeal. No swing. Says David Arrieta. Marte has hit in 6 straight against the Phillies. He's just 13 of 27 during those 6 games. 6 doubles, 4 runs scored. He's hit in 13 of 14 against the Phils. His batting average, which we showed you, 397. Since he came into the league, it's the highest batting average of anybody against the Phillies, which surprises us a little bit because normally we're talking about Ryan Braun, Buster Posey,
Freddie Freeman.
Fights it off, hits it down the right field line. Remains 1-2. So his best year, single season against the Phillies, was 2015. In 2015, he had 467 against the Phillies.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
Another one fouled away. 95 on that fastball. I think number 2 would surprise you, Ben, since 2013. In fact, I don't think you have any chance of getting it. The only thing I'll tell you is that he played the same position as you.
In the division?
No.
Not in the division.
Swing and a miss. Change up again. So he's gotten 2 strikeouts on the changeup here in the first. It's Jonathan Lucroy.
Really? I would not have gotten that. This is how he turned that changeup over. straight down.
Two outs, and Jesus Aguilar is next up.
We have a double and 5 strikeouts so far in this ballgame.
Yes, we do.
Aguilar says, I'm not waiting around for any off-speed pitches.
I wouldn't either if I'm him.
No.
He was 0 for 3 last night. He did walk a couple times. Off his foot. He might wait around now.
Looks bewildered at home plate. Like, can't believe that two-seamer ran that much.
Opposite way, caught by Rhys Hoskins, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3, go the Marlins. We played one. We'll go to the second. Gene Segura will lead it while we were having our Zoom calls with Joe Girardi and Zach Wheeler. And it's a peculiar injury, Murph, and I think we're getting more and more information about it as the days go on.
It certainly is, and it turns out it's an injury that Zach Wheeler has been dealing with since a junior year of high school. It's a nail issue on his middle finger on his pitching hand, and he has been dealing with this kind of a nail that kind of gets pulled off of the nail bed about halfway, he said, and a lot of times falls off. He has to deal with it while he's pitching, but he's been able to pitch through it over the course of these years. However, what happened on Wednesday night down in Miami made the situation a little bit worse. He was going to pull on his pants, and he tripped a little bit, and the nail bed caught, and more of the nail was pulled off of the nail bed. He said it was bleeding pretty badly, and it was certainly very painful. So he's got it bandaged up right now, and he is hopeful that it's going to heal in time for him to get back on the mound very quickly. Monday is at the very earliest, but even Joe Girardi said that's probably a little bit of wishful thinking. Zach kind of downplayed it today. He said, look, it's something I've dealt with my entire pitching career. He said normally it happens in spring training, and then I'm able to kind of fight through it for a couple days, and then I'm able to pitch through it. The fact that it came off as much as it did this time around is concerning for sure, but he did say that he is very hopeful that he's going to be able to, kind of withstand the pain going forward and be able to pitch with it. So it's kind of a wait-and-see situation. Certainly not having Zach Wheeler at Joe Girardi's disposal is a big, big issue for the Phillies.
Yeah, so it's caused him to shuffle the pitching matchups for the rest of the weekend. Spencer Howard will go tomorrow, and then a combination of Zach Eflin and Vince Velasquez will go on Sunday. And then, as Joe said today, if we get him, meaning Wheeler, back Monday, we are fortunate. But he's not sure how he will feel. Swing and a miss by Segura. Another strikeout for Rogers. That's 4 in a row.
It doesn't seem like anybody's real optimistic about that as we watch Segura go down. Good breaking ball here. It's listed as a slider. I think it's more of a slurve because of the speed of it. Average pitch on that slider is 80.3 miles an hour, which is a little slower than a normal slider would be.
So here's Didi Gregorius. Anyway, let's hope for the best with Zach. I mean, it's really unfortunate. He said that, as Murph said, he's dealt with it for since his junior year in high school. He said it was weird. He said it happened his junior year in high school. Didn't happen his senior year, so he thought it was fine. But then it happened when he went into pro ball. And it happens on fastballs. It's usually a normal nail in the off season, and then as the season begins, that's when it starts to pare down.
It's remarkable.
It is pretty remarkable. Didi 1 for 4 last night. Pops it up outside of third. Brian Anderson there. Easy play. 2 outs. That'll bring Phil Gosselin up.
Well, we've heard of a lot of pitchers getting blisters, but a nail is. I don't hear about the nail as often.
I don't think I don't know about you. You played the game, and you've had a ton of teammates. I don't think I've ever heard of this before.
I know pitchers were always, fickle as to when they trim their nails before their start and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get them too long. They couldn't have them too short. Otherwise, they would get those blister issues.
Yeah, Zach said it was one of those stupid things. I mean, it was a freak accident. 1-1. Gosselin did not play in last night's game. Off the end of the bat. And that's a foul ball. Not many rockets today, except for the ball that McCutchen hit.
Yeah. He's definitely staying off the barrel.
Rogers hails from Carlsbad, New Mexico. His cousin is Cody Ross. And he has nothing in common with Cody Ross except that they're related and they went to the same high school. That's it. Cody is not 6'6". I guess they both throw left-handed. Rogers hits right-handed. Rogers hits left-handed. Cody hits right-handed.
You don't see a whole lot of.
No.
A la Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson was the most notable. Swing and a miss. All right, so he's pretty good. He has struck out 5 through the first 2 innings here this afternoon. Nola goes back to work. A scoreless game in the bottom of the second. Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and much, much more. Ben, do you think that's Ocean City?
I don't think so.
No? I think they're showing us this because Carl just told me there's a tropical storm watch for Miami-Dade County for the next 24 hours.
Is there really?
Yeah. Good thing we're here in Philadelphia. Matt Joyce takes strike 1. Joyce had a sacrifice fly, 2 RBIs last night. Well, just a bit high. Joyce is 1 for 5 lifetime against Nola.
So free and easy. It's just like he can just drop that in whenever he wants.
Mm-hmm. And lefties, who he had really dominated. He had the best batting average against left-handed hitters in the league until the Mets series. He allowed 7 hits in his last start to left-handers. I think that's partly because the curveball and the fastball command just weren't there, and he was throwing a lot of changeups.
Yeah. Lefty's still only hitting 171 against Aaron. Righty's hitting 206.
He did strike out double digits in his last outing. Swing and a miss. Got the curveball working there. 3 strikeouts for Nola.
Look at the rotation on that. Remarkable. I think that's one of the hardest thing to get younger kids to do. You know, when you work with kids, to have them throw their off-speed pitches with the same conviction that they throw their fastball. They always think they have to change something. The grip will dictate how hard the ball comes out of your hand. You still need to maintain that arm speed. And I think that's what Aaron does extremely well. He throws every pitch just as hard.
Like right there.
Yeah, there's just no difference in his windup.
Brian Anderson hitting .254 with 5 home runs, 21 runs batted in, 1 for 5 with a strikeout. 94 right on by him. He did not like that baseball, though.
Get rid of that one.
Produced 2 strikes.
Silly ball.
Swing and a miss. Another strikeout with the curveball. So 2 strikeouts today on the changeup. That gives him 21 strikeouts thanks to the changeup this year. And then 2 more strikeouts with the curveball. That's 34 strikeouts with the curveball this year.
Lower than low. If you're going to miss, that's the spot to miss. Anderson just not able to lay off.
He's second to Shane Bieber of the Indians. A lot of people were second to him strikeout wise. In strikeouts this year with something other than a fastball. So anything other than a 4 or 2-seamer. And for Aaron, that's the curve or the change. He has 55 strikeouts. 0-1 pitch to Cooper. Our Nissan upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. All right, I'm not sure if this is apropos today, but the highest ground ball percentage for staffs, the Phillies and the Marlins, are 4 and 5.
There hasn't been a ball on the ground yet.
No, we have strikeouts and a line out and a pop out. That's it.
Yes, he did.
I think he did. Joe West thinks he did too. And Aaron just struck out the side. He has 5 strikeouts through 2. That equals the 5 strikeouts for Rogers. Is rookie Alec Bohm. Alec 303. That's second among rookies in the National League. 2 home runs, tied for 5th. The RBI is 16. He's second. Doubles, he's second. Runners in scoring position. He is the leader among rookies. Alec Bohm's success is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Bohm's hitting .303 with those 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. But just so good with runners in scoring position. Now he's up leading off here. And I think we've seen the different styles that he's had. Now he could go after the first pitch here because this guy struck out 5 so far. But a lot of times when he starts an inning, he's not as aggressive as he is when there's somebody on base. He takes there 0-1. I do think it's peculiar that Alec Bohm was not drafted out of high school. So as a junior in high school, he had .526 with 6 home runs as a junior. As a senior, he had .533. Ground ball out to shortstop. Rojas is up with it. I wonder what scouts didn't see for somebody that was as big as he was. Maybe he wasn't as filled out as he is now.
Maybe.
But doesn't that surprise you?
It does. But to go from not getting drafted in high school to being a 3rd overall pick a couple years later is, I mean, that's drastic.
I mean, he did improve his walk rate when he was at Wichita State. He was, obviously got stronger and certainly hit for more power. Hazley takes strike 1.
But the average kept going up at Wichita State as well. He played in the Cape Cod League.
Hazley hitting .237, getting a chance against the left-hander here.
I'd love to know the percentage of college players that were drafted 3rd overall that were not drafted out of high school. You know, I mean, it's got to be minuscule.
Outside corner, 2-2. It's only the 62nd plate appearance for Hazley against lefties.
Definitely a tough customer to get a start against.
Lines that one out toward right center field. That's going to be an extra base hit, a one hop off the wall. And Adams going to pull into second base with his 4th double of the year.
Ball just kept taking off like an airliner. My gosh. Ball was scorched. Ball down and in. Happy zone for lefties. Sound like one of your tee shots, partner.
I don't know if it would go that far. McCutchen hits one to deep left field. No doubt about that one. It is gone into the first row, going after the first pitch, and the Phillies are on top 2-0.
Yeah, I think Andrew's seen the ball pretty good off Rogers. Double and goes up top. He went scissors. We'll have to see what Dusty went with.
Home run number 6 for McCutchen. 26 runs batted in.
Phillies being a little bit more aggressive here. That's how you get on top of a high fastball.
Pandemic crew here at Citizens Bank Park liked it. You can hear the air horns in the background. If they only knew what dance McCutchen was doing. Two 2-0 to Reese.
I hit a ball like that, I'd be smiling too. Tom, you and I should play that back and master that dance after the game.
It might be problematic days later. Hoskins is aboard. It should be a hit.
It's got to be. Ball hit that hard.
Chisholm dove for it, but didn't come up with it. And here is Bryce Harper, who struck out his last time up. Four hits for the Phils, 3 in a row.
Take a single the other way, line drive to left field, just really get him going.
0-2.
See that swing? You see how frustrated Bryce is. He's just, I can't put my finger on it. It's like he's right on it. Bryce doesn't know what it is either. He just, that look of exasperation on his face after that swing. It was a great swing. It was quick. It was balanced. He just fouled it off.
Fly ball out to left field, right at Dickerson. Hoskins went halfway. He goes back. 2 away. And that'll bring JT up. It's been frustrating for Harp in the month of September, even before that. September, though, he's 4 for 29. Realito struck out in his first at bat. Yeah, that ball got a piece of him. So a hit by pitch puts runners on first and second. And Segura's coming up.
Tried to get out of the way, just a little late. A glancing blow.
Stottlemyre Jr. out to talk to his young left-hander. Segura struck out his first at bat. In fact, Rogers had 5 strikeouts by the time he was done with this lineup the first time through. And they seem to be reading him a little bit better this time.
Definitely have been more aggressive earlier in counts. Go for another double in the gap here.
Yeah, the good news is he's not as sharp with some of that secondary stuff too. But in a lot of ways, they're not letting him get to that, the secondary stuff.
Yep.
Pickoff play on at second base. And Reese is back. That was a really slow spin.
Kind of unexpected.
Three and one. Pulled to left field, and there's your extra base hit, Ben. Reese will score. Real Buto runs well. He's already being waved home from third. And he's on his way, and he'll score. It's a 2-run double for Segura, and the Phillies have scored 4 runs in the inning.
Talk about someone who's been an RBI machine lately. Gene the RBI machine. 3-1 changeup. Boy, he stays down on this, hits through it. Glisters that ball in the corner. A short swing.
Seven ribbies here in the month of September for Segura. And now Didi Gregorius, the batter, 4 runs in the inning on 4 hits.
Tell me that wasn't a veteran in the batter's box right there. 3-1 count. You have a left-hander behind you who you jammed your last time up. Gene probably sitting all over that changeup. Thinking there's no way he's going to give me a fastball here. Not with a lefty behind me. 2 outs.
And a high fly ball to deep right field. Joyce going back to the fence, and he's there. And he makes the catch, and the side is retired. But the Phillies score 4 runs on 4 hits. Andrew McCutchen got it all. Exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. By the Pennsylvania Lottery's new scratch-off winner chicken dinner. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. And buy your Philadelphia area local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDealers.com. Well, Ben Davis and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. Bottom of the 3rd inning. And Aaron Nola has been staked to a 4-run lead. And he will face Miguel Rojas, Chaz Gism, and Chad Wallach. Rojas hitting .348. He's the best number 7 hitter in the National League. Oh, 0-1. 5 for 21 against Nola. Oh, come on, Joe. 1 ball and 1 strike. Outside 2-1. Two and two.
Paint. Absolute paint.
We showed you Bryce Harper's spikes in honor of 9/11. Rojas has his spikes in honor of Michael Jordan. He's got his Air Jordans on. He has a very expensive collection of Air Jordan sneakers and spikes. Little tapper up the first base line. He estimates he has about 70 pair of Air Jordans. He said, I really connected with Michael Jordan.
You really connected with him?
And what Jordan did for the game of basketball. He's a huge basketball fan.
They are old school. 70 pair.
70.
Goodness.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Another changeup. 6 strikeouts. Four strikeouts in a row.
Good changeup. Rojas is way out in front. That location Aaron wanted it, but The speed is what got Rojas there. Joe's going to dust off the plate.
He'll do it slowly.
And then he steps on it. He's got the same mask on, Tom.
Why would he change it? FedEx has not arrived yet.
Did you send him one?
No, I didn't. Chisholm hits one down the left field line out of play. It's 0-1. Hitting 167. He was 1 for 4 last night. Good pitch.
Front door, back door.
Chisholm was signed by former major leaguer Craig Shipley, part of the Diamondbacks organization. He's from the Bahamas. Grew up in Nassau. You don't find many players from the Bahamas. 1-2 pitch. Tried to hold up. They'll appeal. We got no swing.
Is he saying it hit him?
Well, he's limping around as if it hit him. I don't think Don Mattingly is doing anything. But we'll see. Yeah, hit him in the foot.
Yeah, it did.
Right there.
Can't see it hurting that much.
Got to sell it, Ben.
I guess.
All right, so they, I believe, are going to challenge it.
Down the count 1-2. I'd be selling it too. Definitely hit him.
Well, while he recovers from his wound, it's time for today's NovaCare health tip. Proper hydration, Ben, is the key. The physical therapists at NovaCare recommend drinking water to stay hydrated and help prevent injury. Add fruit for taste and nutrients. Experience the power of physical therapy.
From his wound?
Yeah. All right, so they told him he can go to first, so he has been hit by a pitch. First base runner for the Marlins. And here is Chad Wallach, who didn't play last night. Alfaro did the catching. First time that Nola is from the stretch. Wallach hitting 100.
Good time to get a ball on the ground here. Keep that pitch count down.
There it goes. Pitch is taken for a ball, and the throw goes into center field. That'll be a stolen base. The second for Chisholm. And it's 1-1.
They're not paying a whole lot of attention to him.
Tell you what, that was a good pitch, too.
It was a good pitch, and probably one that JT would like to have back. Better throw gets Chisholm. That's just the bottom line. You don't see that out of JT a whole lot.
No.
You really don't. Most look like he rushed himself and got out in front. Most like a pitcher, when he rushes himself, the arm drags behind. You end up throwing that sinker into second base.
Got a piece of JT on the foul. It's 2-2. Three and two. Dickerson waits on deck. Wallach, whose dad Tim was a very good third baseman in the big leagues and also was Don Mattingly's bench coach the last several years. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss and a curveball. 7 strikeouts. Wallach still with just 1 hit against right-handed pitching. He's 1 for 18 this year. And that'll bring up Corey Dickerson.
Way out in front is Wallach. Thinking he's got it. I'm hitting 100. You're up by 4 runs, full count. I have to get a fastball here.
Gonna get greedy. Dickerson struck out in his only at bat. All 7 strikeouts, Ben, have come on the curveball and the changeup.
And they all have been swinging.
Ground ball, softly to shortstop. Didi's up with it and fires across the diamond. Side is retired. Marlins got their only base runner of the game in this inning. It was a hit by pitch. We head to the 4th. On your 2020 RAV4 Toyota today. Toyota, let's go Phils. Phillies lead at 4-0 as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Phil Gosselin, Alec Boehm, and Adam Hazley will lead it off. Coming into today, StatCast presented by Google Cloud gives us a look at what Rogers has done with his pitcher arsenal. Four-seam 52.5%. That changeup, though, it's a money pitch for him.
It is a good one. The fastball, 2-seam and 4-seam combined. He'll throw it upwards of 66% of the time, and why not? He's got a big arm. We've seen him touch 95, 96.
One and one to Gosselin.
So there's that little slurve. Doesn't do a whole lot.
Grounder foul, 2-2.
Keep working. Keep attacking.
Over to third. This will be a tough play. Anderson got rid of it quickly, and he's wide of first. And Gosselin is aboard.
Does Aguilar think he got him? Aguilar was like shaking his head after the play. Phil does run really well.
I don't think he got him.
No. He did not. Give him a hit.
Looks like they have given him a hit.
I think Phil was wearing Gene Segura's spikes. You see that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Phil's faster than Gene. Why would he wear his spikes? E5, Ben. Rats.
I don't know how that can be an error. And no, not because he's Malcolm Fryer. But that's a tough play for a guy that runs well. He had to rush it.
I would agree. It had to be perfect. Bohm hooks it into left center field. That'll be in for a base hit. Gosselin around second, heading to third. And he'll get there. Alec Bohm keeps on hitting. It's his third hit of the series. It'll be first and third with nobody out.
Let me know if this makes sense, Tom. Alec Bohm, big guy, right?
Yeah.
Short swing. But his bat stays, watch how long his bat stays in the zone, through, up, and out. But it's through the zone so quickly. It just stays on that plane. It's just a very fluid swing. He hits through every baseball, Tom. He does. He trusts that approach, and he hits through the baseball every time. And what that enables you to do, if you're out in front like he was in that, the bat stays in the zone longer and you're able to hit through the baseball. You just don't smother it to your pull side.
Outside, 2-0. Joe Dillon, the hitting coach for the Phils. Ground ball through the hole on the right side. Hazley's 2 for 2. That's an RBI single. And the Phillies lead it 5-0. A couple of hits for Hazley against the left-hander.
What does Schmidt always say? The game was made for left-handers.
With that vacant hole on the right side.
Gosselin doesn't go first at third. Aguilar gets to that baseball and has a forced play somewhere. But he's forced to hold on Bohm. Hazley sneaks it through the hole. Love to see it.
McCutchen lines one out to left center field. That'll be in for a base hit. And Bohm's around third. He's heading for home. No throw. Over to third base goes Hazley. RBI single. And it's now 6-0 Phillies.
Somebody needs a triple. Andrew McCutchen, single, double, homer.
Probably the park to do it, too.
Yeah. Again, hitting through the ball. High finish.
McCutchen doubled his first time up, homered his last time. And in case you were wondering, as the Marlins have bullpen action, in the competition of rock, paper, scissors between Andrew McCutchen, who did homer in his last at-bat, and Dusty Wathan, the third base coach. Kutch chose scissors, but so did Dusty. So that means they're 2, 2, and 2 for their rock, paper, scissors competition this year. We'll be following it just like we used to follow the shirt issue for Sarge. 3 for 3 today for McCutchen.
Was Sarge, was it more on the road or was it at home? Or it didn't matter?
I think it was more on the road, but in reality it didn't matter. It really didn't. And I was always to blame. Reese fouls it away. McCutchen's 3-hit game, the first of the season for him. Up foul 0-2 to Hoskins. That one's hooked down the left field line, and it is gone into the second row. A 3-run home run, and Reese has busted this baby open. It's now 9-0 Phillies.
Go down and get it, Reese.
Yeah, we're obviously watching this game from Philadelphia on the monitors. Off the bat, it definitely looked like it had the distance, but off the bat, I wasn't sure if it was closer to the line or not until the camera flipped.
How about it?
25 runs batted in for Reese. He's reached 10 home runs. 9 runs on 9 hits, and that's going to be it for Trevor Rogers.
Another Philly hitting through the baseball. You peel off this ball, you're going to hook it foul every time. Look where this bat goes, up and out. And that's how you keep it fair.
Still nobody out here at the top of the 4th inning. The Phillies lead it 9-0, and they're into the Marlins bullpen. Top of the 4th inning, nobody out. Phillies have scored 5 runs in this inning, including the home run by Rhys Hoskins. Rhys and Alec Boehm. Looks like they're going over a little video. 9 runs on 9 hits against Trevor Rogers, the starter. He goes 3+ innings. And now Robert Duggar will take over for the Marlins out of Texas Tech, 25 years old. He comes in with an earned run average of 16 in 2 outings. He was added back to the roster today. And he delivers a strike. Phillies made roster moves today. Marlins made some more roster moves today. They've made 144. It's an awful lot of moves. A 1 pitch to Harper, and he fouls that one off Wallach.
It really is something. 144 moves.
It's a lot of moves. Now, part of that was because of all the players and staff that tested positive for COVID and missed a lot of time because of it. 0-2 pitch. He lays off. Rocket foul.
I wonder if the Phillies were able to see something, and I was looking. The Trevor Rogers windup, maybe they picked something up, because it was after those first 2 innings, 5 strikeouts. The Phillies looked, I mean, let's face it, they looked terrible at the plate. It's like they flipped the switch, and all of a sudden it was like, here we come.
Well, the Hazley double put him in the stretch for only the second time.
Right.
And then after that, it was over.
I mean, it was like they were just sitting on pitches, like they knew what they were getting.
1-2 is popped up.
That might hit the roof.
Around home plate, foul territory. Oh, and Wallach makes the catch. 1 out. Yeah, JT's coming up. You can now join the Phillies family as a season ticket holder for the 2021 season. Secure seats for opening day, some of the Yankee games, and more. Season ticket benefits include price savings, pre-sale opportunity for 2021 single games. Visit Phillies.com/season to order your 2021 season ticket plan. It's going to be a great day when the fans are back here at the ballpark. It was kind of interesting watching the end of the football game last night to see even, was it 15,000?
15,000.
Would one at Real Muto.
You definitely miss him being here. You know, you just miss that ballpark buzz, the smells.
Yeah, instead all we have are lantern flies.
Yeah. What is going on with that on the concourse up there? It looks like a lanternfly graveyard when you walk in. It's amazing.
I think everybody keeps walking up. That's why. I did find one in my yard today in Jersey.
Really?
Yeah. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fouled off 1 and 2. And I kept thinking that they hitched a ride in my truck.
Could have. That's the first time you've seen them? We have them everywhere.
I know they have. I know you have them everywhere here, but not over where I am in New Jersey. And from what I understand, I don't really want them.
No, you don't want them.
That foul tip. Real Muto strikes out. 2 outs. And Segura's coming up.
Gene with a big 2-out double last inning. Put the Phillies up 4-0 at the time.
Left side, Rojas, nice comfortable hop. The inning is over. The Phillies, though, score 5 runs. Those 5 runs capped off by Rhys Hoskins' 3-run home run.
In conjunction with the great folks from the Tri-State Toyota dealers, stopped by the historic Old City Firehouse to thank firefighters for their bravery and their service every day. Phillies Wall of Famer Larry Bowen and his wife Patty were there, along with the Fanatic and Scott Palmer. They presented hats with the American flags on them, Phillies hats, of course, and a check for $5,000 also from Toyota. And I talked to Larry about it this morning, and he said he was just so happy to be there representing the Phillies and honoring our heroes that go out and do the job every day. He said a couple of really poignant words while he was there as well. Hey guys, who can forget the shot of Bo when the Phillies returned to play back on September 17th in 2001 during the national anthem? He was crying at that moment, and he talked to me about it today. He said it was one of the most emotional games he's ever been involved in, the most emotional game, and he said it was a humble reminder of how strong Americans can be in the face of adversity. I don't think you could say it any better than that.
No, absolutely not. As Marte leads it off. I have that picture on my desk, and I look at it every day. I look at the American flag, the tears coming down Bo's cheek. He said there was no booing or snide remarks that fans make to the opposition. It was a crowd that seemed very happy about starting the healing process. I don't think they cared about winning or losing on that particular night. It was a crowd that came together to show resiliency after the tragedy of 9/11. So it was a very different crowd.
Yeah, it was extremely emotional. I was in, I remember I got getting the calls in San Diego, and our first game back was in Dodger Stadium. You know the size of Chavez Ravine. I mean, it's an enormous place, packed to the nines. And we were all out in center field and holding this enormous American flag, with the firefighters and police. Both teams were out there, and there wasn't a dry eye anywhere.
Yeah. And
it was so emotional, and you could hear a pin drop in the stadium that is very, very noisy. And it was so emotional. I can remember it like it was yesterday, Tom. I really can. Out there with your teammates, and we looked across, and we didn't look at the Dodgers as enemies. We looked at them as just, people that's trying to recover.
I was doing the pre and post game show on radio at that moment, and I remember coming back up when Harry did his open, which was so poignant. As Aguilar is the batter, Marte went down on a strike that he didn't think was a strike. And I watch Harry's open every once in a while. Watched it again today, and just his words that evening and how choked up he was getting as he spoke those words. It was just incredible. Out to shortstop. Didi Gregorius is up with it. 6-3 on the putout. 2 outs. This is the RAV4th inning, brought to you by Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com to find your 2020 RAV4 Toyota today. Toyota. Let's go Phils. That season culminated with the Diamondbacks and the Yankees playing in the World Series. And Diamondbacks wound up winning that World Series. But Game 3 had one of the most incredible moments ever when President Bush threw out the ceremonial first pitch. And he did it from the top of the mound and threw a strike. Michael Kay, who does the TV for the Yankees, I talked to him today about that as Matt Joyce stands in. He said, I just remember the whole night had a particular nervousness to it. The security was suffocating, causing massive delays to get into the stadium. He said if you looked up at the apartment buildings that ring the outfield exterior, there were snipers on the roofs. He said usually at the lead up to a World Series game, there's incredible joy and happy anxiousness. He said it was just very jittery that night. And he said then President Bush threw a perfect strike to Todd Green. He said there was an explosion of sound, almost a release of what everyone was feeling, and sort of a shout to be heard by the people that did it.
Some say it's the most important pitch baseball's ever had.
He also reminded me of the story that Derek Jeter was the one who coaxed him into going to the top of the mound and said, you better not bounce it because they're going to boo you. 2-1 to Matt Joyce. Ground ball foul, 2-2. Well, let us all hope that we never have a tragedy like that on American soil. I mean, the pandemic has been tragic. But let's hope we never have an attack on American soil like that again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And it remains 2-2. Anderson on deck. Three and 2. Only 1 base runner so far. That was Chisholm in the 3rd. He was hit by a pitch. Fly ball left field. Andrew McCutchen settles under it and reels it in. A 1-2-3 4th inning for Aaron Nola. 4 shutout innings for Nola. Our authentic fans brought to you by Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phils. They're cheering on the outing so far by Aaron Nola. Nola has struck out 8 through the first 4 innings today. He's making it look easy. Brought to you by Geico with all these strikeouts, Ben.
He's doing all 3 pitches, command of all 3 to both sides of the plate. He has been excellent. Velocity's still there. Saw a pitch at 94. May have gotten away with one there to Starling Marte, but we'll take it.
Last Phillies starting pitcher who had 7 or more strikeouts, no hits allowed, no walks over his first 9 hitters in a game. Cole Hamels, July of 2011 against the San Diego Padres. He had 7 strikeouts. And Duggar goes to work against Didi Gregorius, who is ahead 1-0. 1-1. Didi's 0 for 2. Two and 1. Marlins have made a few changes. Corey Dickerson has exited the game. So has Miguel Rojas, the shortstop. Chisholm's moved to shortstop. Diaz is playing. There's Chisholm. He can't get that one. Diaz is playing second base. That's Matt Joyce in left field. He moves from right field to left field. And Brinson is in right field.
This is a thing of beauty. A little knockdown wedge there, huh?
Well, at least he's got a hit.
Just out of reach of Chisholm.
Playing his natural position, shortstop. And here is Goslin. I guess Don Mattingly's thinking is, I'll get these guys off their feet and they can play in game 2. At least I think that's what it is. Reached on errors last time up. Probably should be and might be a hit eventually. If Goslin decides to appeal it. One and 2. That one's on the outside corner. Well documented where Phil went to school, Malvern Preparatory School for Boys, same school that Ben went to, and Ben's brother Glenn. 3 of the top baseball players in the history of the school. One of the others, Chris Gossick, is getting married this weekend, right?
Yes, he is.
Ben wasn't invited, unfortunately.
Best of luck to Chris and his bride.
2 and 2.
To be.
Fly ball out to right field. Brinson is out there, makes the catch, 1 away. And Didi goes back to first. Alec Boehm coming up.
know, you look at this defensive alignment for the Marlins, it's just something you don't see anymore. You don't see just straight up defense. I mean, center field shaded a little bit towards right center. Everyone else in the position they should be. And again, that just tells you that you got a man up there that uses the whole field.
Yeah, that's a good point. Pulls that one. They use the whole field there, the whole left field line. Didi on his way to third, and he's going to be waved home. And Alec Boehm is going to have an RBI double. It's now 10-0 Phillies, and Boehm is 2 for 3.
Still the same swing. Make a mistake on the inner half. Yeah, I'll just clear my hips and take the barrel to it. It really is something, Tom. In this day and age that we play, where they seemingly shift on everybody.
And there's certainly enough data from Boehm's time in the minor leagues that they would know where to play him. 1-0 to Hazley. Hazley's 2 for 2. He's got an RBI single. He doubled his first time up.
A lot of production from the bottom of this lineup tonight, Tom. I mean, really throughout the entire lineup.
Outside corner, 2-2. Yeah, Boehm's got 2 hits and an RBI. Hazley has 2 hits and an RBI and 2 runs scored. McCutchen is a triple away from the cycle. And the 2-2 pitch pulled down the right field line. That'll be another extra base hit for Hazley. Boehm will score easily, and Hazley on his way to second base is there standing. An RBI double, back-to-back doubles. It's 11-0 Phillies.
It's a way to trade places with him. Really the first curveball that he's thrown in the zone. Everything else he's bounced with that breaking ball. Hazley stays back and shoots it down the right field line.
.46 runs allowed by the Marlins the last 3 games. And they got a win out of one of them. So here's McCutchen. Triple away from the cycle. On the outside corner. Ground ball, shortstop. Chisholm throws out McCutchen, retired for the first time. 2 outs, over to third. Hazley.
I'm sure you've called a game with someone getting a cycle.
I have. David Bell.
Nice.
The Fanatic auction, or the Fantastic auction, is currently underway with all net proceeds benefiting Phillies charities. Place your bids for a unique collection of autographed baseballs. Become the owner of a set of 26 baseballs signed by the Phillies 2020 roster, including Joe Girardi and us broadcasters. The Fantastic auction will end on September 27th Visit Phillies.com/fantastic auction for a full list of items and to place your bid today. 0-1 to Reese, who's 2 for 3.
David Bell, my former landlord.
He was your landlord?
I stayed at his place in Seattle.
Was he a good landlord? Did he
Yeah,
fix things?
it was a beautiful
promptly?
place. Actually, his place had AC. Not a lot of places in Seattle had air conditioning.
Really?
It was beautiful. Overlooking Lake Union.
I guess they feel like they don't need it.
Really don't.
But you used it.
I did.
Yeah. 0-2.
David's brother Ricky was playing with my brother in the Dodgers organization. He said, "Hey, you think your brother wants to stay in my place in Seattle and rent it out to him?" I said, "Sure." Worked out great.
CBS Health Hubs gives us a look at Rhys Hoskins' home run in the 4th inning.
Goes down and gets his breaking ball and hits it in the 2nd row. 396 feet later, CBS Health Hub. Exit velo 103.1.
Upstairs 1-2. That David Bell cycle was June 28th, 2004 against the Montreal Expos.
Wow.
Still remember the ball to left of the 409 sign. Unless you're Jimmy Rollins or Shane Victorino or somebody really quick, it's hard to hit triples here in this yard. Diaz will throw out Hoskins. 4-3 on the putout. Phillies add a couple more. A double by Bohm, a double by Hazley. Middle of the 5th.
Fred Van Dusen. On this date back in 1955, old Fred was hit by a pitch in his first and only major league at bat. He never recorded another plate appearance, ended his career with no batting average, but an on-base percentage of 1,000, which is pretty good. Yeah, he was just 18 years old when he got hit by the pitch. He was a lefty pinch hitter for the Phils. The Milwaukee Braves were the opponent that day. Umberto Robinson plunked them. Braves won the game 9-1.
Yeah, hit him right in the left knee. Fouled off a couple pitches. He was feeling like he was ready to hit. As Anderson takes on the outside corner, 0-1. There have been 6 hitters that have been hit by a pitch in their only plate appearance, but he's the only one not to play the field. The others did. He was courted by 14 teams before he agreed with the Phillies. And he didn't take the bonus money because he wanted to sit on the bench for 2 years. Because back then, I guess if you took the bonus money, they put you on the bench for 2 years and you didn't go to the minor leagues. At least that's what I understand from Baseball Almanac. Outside, 2-1. Left baseball at the age of 23. He had hepatitis.
Hey.
Yeah.
He's like the opposite of Moonlight Graham.
I was thinking that. Yes. But still didn't, get a chance to really play. 2-1 to Anderson. 2-2. Hall of Famer Al Simmons said he was the best young prospect he's ever seen. How about that? Just never give it a chance,
Never
Ben.
give it a chance.
Nope. Anderson is struck out. In fact, there are 8 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball over to third, foul.
Tom, just to put a punctuation mark on that, that was the story of Fred Van Dusen.
The great day.
It's a great day.
Nola with 8 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. It's the first time in his career that he had 8 strikeouts against the first 11 hitters that he faced. The last Philly to do it, Nick Pivetta, in August of 2017 against the Padres. The only base runner he's allowed is the hit by pitch to Jazz Chisholm. That was in the 3rd inning. Major League Baseball has made it abundantly clear that these 7-inning games, if no hits are allowed by a pitcher, it is not a no-hitter. But it would be if he pitched the whole game, a complete game, or in this case, a shutout. In the minor leagues, if you throw a no-hitter for 7 innings, it's a no-hitter.
Right.
I called several of them down in the minor leagues, including one where Pete Buchanan was the manager of the kid who threw the no-hitter. And he told us before the game the kid had no-hit stuff today. See the comparison of total pitches today. Fouled off. Well, he's staying alive here.
Seen them all. I forget what year it was in San Diego. We got no-hit twice in the same year. That wasn't fun.
But yet you haven't thrown a no-hitter, the Padres.
No, they have never thrown a no-hitter.
This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat to Brian Anderson. As he leads off the 5th inning. And he pulls it past Bohm into left field. First hit of the day for the Marlins. And it'll bring Garrett Cooper up. Cooper is struck out today. Changeup.
Not the prettiest swing, but he gets barreled a baseball and hits it sharply.
Out towards short, should be 2. There's 1 and 2. Know thyself. 6-4-3 on the double play. Four 2/3, 1 hit, 8 strikeouts for Nola. By the way, Joe Girardi has made a change. Ronald Torreyes is now playing second base. You may have seen him receive that throw from Didi Gregorius. And Diaz takes strike 1. There's Torreyes.
He can pick it, that's for sure.
2-1. Yeah, Joe said that they brought him in because they need to have versatility on the infield, but also the outfield. So he's been playing a lot of outfield while down at the alternate site. And it's unfortunate that the Phillies had to say goodbye to Neil Walker.
Yeah.
Because Neil has been outstanding for everybody. Just a great guy. 10-year pro. Reached 10 years this year.
Yes, he did.
2-2 pitch. And Joe complimented Neil today in his pregame chat. He said, listen, he won us a couple games. He got a couple really big hits for us. And we would have liked to have kept him. He said, but we just felt like, because Roman Quinn is on the injured list with the concussion, had a bad day yesterday, but had a better day today. They needed some versatility in the outfield. Line drive towards center. That'll drop for a hit. Second hit of the inning for the Marlins, and Diaz is aboard. This is what we mentioned earlier. Walker designated for assignment. Adam Morgan back after the shoulder injury. And Torreyes, contract selected from Lehigh Valley. Rosso is in the bullpen right now, a candidate to start game 2. We really don't know who's going to start game 2. A lot was going to depend on game 1.
Yeah. I was going to start filling out my score sheet for the second game, but
can't do that, Ben.
Can't do it.
For either team.
No.
Breaking ball to Chisholm. We should take odds on who's going to start. Who do you think?
I think Ranger Suarez starts.
All right, Murph, who do you think is going to start game 2?
My initial thought was Ranger Suarez as well.
Okay.
But if Nola only goes 7, maybe he pitches the first 2.
Why not, right?
Yeah, why not?
Maybe take him out now and let him pitch Monday. This will be like a side day. No balls and 2 strikes. I guess others have had that idea. All right, so since you guys both said Ranger, I'm going to go Rosso. Inside 1 and 2. Every time a Phillies pitcher records a pitch of 95 miles per hour or more, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia.
Murph, do you think Tom was privy to information we were not given?
I was not privy to that information.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll find out, won't we? When game 1 starts.
Game 2, Murph.
Game 2.
2
You know, it's
2.
lonely over here, all right? I got to talk to myself.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. 9 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. And the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits. And 1 man left, a double play. The 4th, 2 in the 5th inning. Andrew McCutchen is a double, a 2-run home run, a single. Rhys Hoskins is a 3-run home run. 3 hits for Adam Hazley, and Aaron Nola has been spectacular through 5. 9 strikeouts through 5 innings of work. Our Hyundai defensive play of the game. There's only been 1.
You just saw it last inning. 6-4-3. Garrett Cooper. Rally killer. Aaron Nola loves it. It's your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by our local Hyundai dealers. Not a whole lot of defensive plays out there tonight, Tom.
Well, Nola struck out 9. So now Bryce Harper trying to end it 0 for 15. At a high fly ball to deep right center field. Marte on the run. So is Brinson, and Brinson goes back to make the catch. And 1 out.
Not a hit, but a good sign there, Tom. That ball was up there forever. I mean, forever. Probably out of most parks. Not this graveyard here in Miami. Pretty level swing there.
JT is 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Two and one. I thought that got the bare hand of Chad Wallach, the catcher, for a second.
He had one of those his last at bat, did JT. Right off of Wallach. No reason to have his hand there. 0. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know why you just don't tuck it behind you.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. There's nobody on. It's not like you're going to get an advantage. Up and in, 3-2. JT, former Marlins minor league player of the year. Signed with the Marlins out of high school instead of going to Oklahoma State to play quarterback for the Cowboys. Pops it up behind home plate, out of play. Marlins went with a no cutout look in their seats. Whatever Dex is appreciates it.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of airtime.
Swing and a miss. Threw him a curveball. 4 in a row. Retired by Duggar. 2 outs in the 6th. Major League Baseball's sprint to the finish is on. Never miss a Phillies moment. Stream the game on any of your devices with the My Teams app. Brought to you by your Delaware Valley Chevy dealer. And here is Torreyes, who was fun to watch during spring training, was also fun to watch during summer camp. He was all over the place. And he pulls the first pitch. Foul. I remember asking Joe Girardi, what do you like about him? Because he had him with the Yankees. He said, what's there not to like about him? He said he plays with constant energy. He's 28 years old. Last year he was 3 for 16 with the Minnesota Twins. Oh, 2. Joe used him for 108 games in 2017.
Yeah.
That year he had 292. He had 15 doubles.
Well, you mentioned his versatility. I mean, it just adds so much, enables your manager to do so many things with you to keep you in the lineup.
Back toward the middle and gobbled up by Diaz, the second baseman. The other side is retired. Phillies go down 1-2-3 for the second time today. We go to the bottom of the 6th.com today. It's a look at South Florida. We're actually looking at the skyline of Philadelphia as we watch this game on 1, 2, 3. Count the one on the wall. 4 monitors. The one on the wall, though, we don't look at all the time. Me and Ben both have monitors. Ben and I both have monitors in front of us, and then we have a bigger monitor that has 4 quadrants to it. One of them shows the entire field. The other one shows David Hale drinking an energy drink in the bullpen. Shows the Marlins bullpen, which is empty, and the line score on the scoreboard. As Chad Wallach takes the first pitch just off the inside corner. 1-0. Also shows us the changes in the lineup defensively. Kyle Garlick, for instance, is now in right field for the Phillies. 1-1. Here's Kyle. So we were following what's called a world feed. It's basically a feed that's 50-50. Right down the middle. At least it's supposed to be, and it has been. The ones have been good. They're at the ballpark, the Marlins broadcasters. At least they were scheduled to be there. One ball and 2 strikes. Fly ball, center field. Hazley, not too deep, makes the catch. Here's Corey Dickerson So 9 strikeouts for Aaron Nola, Ben.
Yeah, and this one last inning, the Jazz Chisholm, you know, it's a 2-2 count, and believe me, I struck out enough to know. But look how big this swing is. Look where his head is. I mean, you're not going to see. It was like he had a 3-0 green light. I mean, that is something that I think definitely has changed over the years. Again, I struck out enough to know that I just want to put a ball in play there, especially against Aaron Nola, who's the ball's moving all over as it is. But to take a swing like that,
yeah.
I mean, it really looked like it was a 3-0 hack.
Here's Lewis Brinson up for the first time. And I do think the game has changed where people do swing bigger all the time. But not everybody. I mean, you talked about Alec Bohm. He's a little different than Chisholm. Speaking of Bohm, cuts off Didi, throws out Brinson. Yeah, they're 2 away here in the 6th. It's Runs for Radiothon. For every run the Phillies score during the month of September, the Phillies will make a contribution to the Help Our Kids Radiothon, benefiting Nemours DuPont Hospital for Children. Find out more at nemours.org/radiothon. Monte Harrison, who came in the last half inning defensively, is up for the first time. Breaking ball outside, 1-0. Harrison's speed set up the winning run last night.
A couple stolen bases in that inning.
Check swing. Come on, Joe, ring him up. He's been known to. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 10 for Aaron Nola. He is racking up the 10 strikeout games this year. We'll go to the 7th. Phil's up 11-0.
Get to the game and a little baseball history in Tampa tonight, guys. The Red Sox are in town and they're sending right-hander Andrew Triggs to the mound. So the Rays have countered with 9 left-handed hitters. First time in the modern era that has ever happened. 8 lefties in a lineup has happened before 26 times, but never 9. It'll happen tonight. And Garrett Cole with an ace-like effort for the Yankees today. Game 1 of their doubleheader versus the Orioles. He went 7 innings, complete game, struck out 9, walked just 1. Yanks won that game 6-0. Very similar to what Aaron Nola has done today.
Yeah, and the Yankees were in need of a win. I mean, they have they've really struggled. I was talking to John Flaherty today, who does a lot of their TV.
Flash.
I didn't call him Flash then.
You did not?
I didn't. Should I have?
He likes Flash.
He said, we're 5-15 in the last 20.
It's not good.
It's not counting today. Now they're 6-15 in the last 21. Murph, you're good at math, right? That's right, right?
I'm terrible at that.
John Flaherty is one of the nicest guys you'll meet in this game. He truly is.
Very nice guy.
Truly is.
What about the 9 left-handed hitters, though? Didn't that get you guys jazzed?
It's pretty amazing. It's First of all, to have 9 left-handed hitters. Just start plucking people from the alternate camp. You guys stay down here unless we have a right-hander. Didi Gregorius smokes one to deep right field, and it is foul. Oh, 2.
That was up there forever. That's tough to see. A little better with that angle.
That was closer than I thought.
That was a bomb.
Let's see how far that went. Get down the left field line. That may be no man's land. Nope. Joyce is able to track it down. Makes the catch.
Ran a long way for that one. They cover a lot of ground.
.371 feet was that foul ball, they said. Statcast said. Think it was farther than that?
Yes.
Here's Phil Gosselin, who's 0 for 3. Who at some point next week might be 1 for 3 today. 1 ball and no strikes. Gosselin struck out his first time up, reached on an error, scored. Flied out to right field. Two and 0. Out of town scoreboard. Washington leads Atlanta 5-0 in the 4th. We might as well wait until like the 7th inning to go back to that one. The way the Braves are scoring runs.
Remarkable.
Line drive to left field and a base hit for Gosselin. It's going to be an extra base hit. I'm not sure what Joyce was doing on that.
I didn't think he thought that ball was hit that hard. He said, I'll just go cut this ball off and throw it into second base. Next thing you know, he's making a right turn to the fence.
5 doubles now for Gosselin. He wasn't close to that. I don't mean to laugh, but. Here's Bohm. Bohm is 2 for 3. He's grounded to shortstop. He's singled and scored, and he's doubled. Home run and scored. One and 0.
So that just leaves 3-4 hitters in the lineup without hits.
1 ball and 1 strike. Inside. 2-1. Well, Harper's out, so he's not going to get a hit.
Yeah.
Real Muto's still in. I don't know if he'll get up again. That's it, right?
It's called spreading the wealth.
Well, 11 runs on 13 hits for the Phillies. You want to solve your bullpen questions? Get 11 runs and have your starter put together the outing that Nola's put together. There's JT. I would think he's going to be in game 2, but maybe not behind the plate.
Once we find out who the heck the pitcher is.
For both teams.
Yeah.
3-1 to Bohm. Hit in the air to left center field. That's fairly deep. Harrison is there. Makes the catch. Gosselin breaks, then goes back.
What a throw.
That was a really good throw.
My goodness.
2 outs.
I mean, he cut that loose. Obviously, I really miss being at the ballpark, talking with the players, talking with Joe Girardi, seeing what they're looking for. One thing I'm not going to miss is trying to find a cab down to Miami after the game. It always seemed to be like an issue, didn't it?
It did seem to be an issue.
There always seemed to be roads blocked off and.
Outside corner, punch foul. It's 0-1. Aaron Nola trying to stay limber.
And I'm in the hole 0-2 here, but you thrilled to get a 4-hit night for him, huh? Like that Nick Williams bat is really working for him tonight.
Is that what he's using?
Yeah.
The Nick Williams bat? Hey, whatever works.
He used it last night.
0-2 pitch coming to Hazley with a runner at second base. In the air to center field. It's not deep. And Monte Harrison makes the catch. Side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. Aaron Nola going for his first ever complete game. Time now for our Toyota Camry turning points of today's ball game.
Andrew McCutchen here. 3rd inning. Goes up top for a 2-run homer. That put the good guys on the board. Maurice goes down and gets one. 393 feet later it lands. Toyota Camry turning points. The long ball.
All right, so now Aaron Nola goes to work and does so in the bottom of the 7th against Aguilar. So again, if he had thrown a no-hitter through 7, it wouldn't have been a no-hitter. He'd have to go extra innings for it to be a no-hitter, 9 innings. But if he finishes this inning off, it would be a complete game, his first of his career, which is astounding. I know it doesn't mean as much anymore. I mean, I think it does, but you know, in baseball terms, it really doesn't. He wanted to do it a couple times earlier this season, but they decided because of the schedule that they wouldn't push him out there again. Hit foul 1-2. He has 16 10 strikeout games in his career, 4 this season. Tied for second most in the majors with Max Scherzer. Shane Bieber is first. He has 6 10 strikeout games.
How he has matured into that strikeout pitcher is really something. I just, you know, when he came up, you looked at a fastball ranging 92 to 95, good sink, and a really good curveball. And you're thinking, okay, not a whole lot of pitchers, unless you're Randy Johnson throwing 100 with a 92-mile-an-hour slider, are going to strike a lot of guys out with that. Add a changeup. The command has gotten better, and he has turned into a strikeout pitcher.
Ground ball to the second baseman, Torreyes. Today, Aaron Nola has used his curveball the most out of the 4 pitches listed. That one's to the left of the mound. Flag down by Nola. Yeah, there are 2 outs. That's a heck of a play.
Who said pitchers aren't athletes?
Well, a variety of people. But
Very athletic play here. Cool and calm. It's a heck of a play.
it is a really good play.
It really is.
Pellets flying everywhere. About to throw his 97th pitch. Brian Anderson is the hitter, trying to become the first Philly to have a 7-inning complete game since Doc did it in April of 2013. 0-1. Low.
You know, the graphic you guys put up the other day about Zach Wheeler was on about average innings pitched per start.
Mm-hmm.
And he was at, what, I think it was 6.1 or whatever it was. I mean, look at that number. Talk about another way that, I mean, how the bullpens are utilized nowadays is incredible. It really is.
Inside, 2-1.
Obviously, you want your starter to go as long as possible, but thinking if I go 6 innings today, I'm doing my job.
Well, and Joe has said that he would like to push the starters a little bit more. It just hasn't happened as consistently. One is lined out to short. That's a base hit for Anderson, his second hit of the day. Keeps the inning alive.
Anderson now 9 for 25 career off Aaron Nola. Just out of the reach of Didi.
He's not happy because he wanted to finish it off. Trevor Bauer, who's the leader in Major League Baseball in complete games, has 2 7-inning complete games this year. Garrett Cooper, the batter, and that hit him. So that'll put 2 runners on. Second batter that Aaron's hit. Phillies postgame live edition number 1 is coming up after the ball game. Well, about 40 minutes.
Topper saying it didn't hit him?
I think he is saying it didn't hit him. I think Joe is going to challenge it. Maybe he's saying now that it did hit him.
Disregard.
Good Joe.
Joe is not going to be happy.
He's not. Just let him go through with it.
You know what? Since you're there, go ahead. Take a look at it, Joe.
I don't know if it did hit him.
I think it nicked his left elbow.
Do you?
I do.
Well, that's a good shot. I don't think it hit him.
Well, it didn't hit his left elbow.
No, it didn't. Well, maybe they're rolling the dice and they might be right on this one. By the way, that 7-inning complete game for Doc was range short. That's why back then, this is the first year that there's an ability to have a 7-inning complete game without the help of a rain shortened opportunity. All right, Joe, give us the word. Oh, he did get hit. So runners on first and second. And here is Isan Diaz, who singled up the middle in his only at bat. From a changeup, 0-1.
Come on, Aaron. Finish him off right here. Spot.
Keith Embry is just now throwing his first pitch in the bullpen. Hopefully that's his last. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is start number 136 in Aaron Nola's career. The 1-2 pitch. Low. 2-2. Last 2 years, he's been over 200 innings in both seasons. Looks back the runner at second base, and the 2-2 pitch. And a line drive caught by Didi Gregorius. And Aaron Nola has his first complete game shutout of what is a budding career for the Phillies right-hander. And man, did the Phillies need this. They win it today by a final score of 11-0. He is our Chevrolet player of the game. 10 strikeouts over 7 innings. He allowed just 3 hits. He hit 2 batters. A day that the Phillies needed to at least have the bullpen rested for one part of the doubleheader. Aaron Nola obliges. 11-0 the final score. We'll wrap it up right after this.